Yo, what is going on YouTube? My name is Randy and you are watching the Randy Talks Mets channel where you get your latest Mets media, everything you know about the Mets on this channel. Mets news, everything you need to know. And today we're going to get it started with the 4 pitching prospects that I really want to talk about today. And that is these are pitchers that I feel that we should watch in 2026. But before we get into this video, definitely do me a favor, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. And yeah, man, leave a comment. Let me know how you feeling. Let me know, about the Mets, how you feeling about the Mets, how you feeling about this video. And let's get right into it, guys. So we're going to get right into it here. We're going to start off with the first pitcher. And we got the high ceiling Jonah Tong, a guy that is a top prospect in the game, top 48 prospect in the game, according to MLB.com. So this is a guy that has a high ceiling. We know that he has this delivery, this high drop off, this low delivery that he pitches from, and credit to him. Credit to Jonah Tong for being the 2025, minor league pitcher of the year, pitching prospect of the year, because that's hard to do. That's not easy to do. And he also went 10-0. Didn't even have a loss in the minors. So what an impressive, 1.43 ERA in the minors. Very impressive season. Now in 2025, he did get the call up and he didn't do so great. So he pitched it was like a 2-3 with a 7-point-something ERA. But I think when it comes to Jonah Tong, right, there is a lot to like about this kid. They like his swagger. They like his fastball. They really love his fastball. And Jonah Tong himself, he loves that fastball. He was striking out the world in the minors. So I like Jonah Tong. I do, but I feel that the Mets need to work with him on a pitch that, yes, the fastball is good, but you can't throw the fastball every day. You can't throw the fastball. We saw the fastball get hit. Remember that Texas Rangers start where he got destroyed because they were sitting on the fastball. So I like Jonah Tong. I like what he gave you in the majors a little bit. He did get a couple of wins, but he got rocked as well. This is a guy that never faced that adversity, He never faced that adversity in high school, but he's facing a lot now. He's faced a lot in 2025. You saw him almost crying in post-game interviews, and I feel that that's the emotional thing about Jonah Tong. He's an emotional player, and that is something that he's going to have to learn a little bit. Like, you can be emotional, but this is New York City, guys. This is New York City. So if you're crying in an interview, you're going to get torn up. You really are. And that's the thing about Jonah Tong. But I like this kid. I like what it gives you. I like his fastball. I like his changeup. But I really like his curveball. That's a pitch that I feel that he has a 12-6 curveball. And I love that the way that curveball is. But he doesn't use it enough. And I'm like, why are you using that curveball? Because I feel like that could make that could get them off the fastball. And that's what he needs. He needs a pitch to get them off the fastball, a pitch that can go east to west, like maybe a slider or something like that. But the slider that he has is not good. It's not. The changeup is okay. The fastball is what's different about him, and it's the delivery. It's where he's throwing the ball. This is a guy that, if you don't know, if you've seen Tim Lincecum pitch, this is very similar to that delivery. So I think the fact that he is a number 48 prospect in the game, top 100, it just shows that, yes, he didn't have a great time in the majors for those couple of starts, but it was only it was like 5 starts. But I still think that this is a guy that has high promise, and there's a reason why the Mets don't want to trade this guy, because they believe in him. They really do believe in him. So we've heard rumors about, maybe a Jonah Tong trade, or maybe he was going to be in the Freddie Peralta trade, or maybe he was going to be in a Scooble trade or something like that. Maybe they're waiting for him to be in a Scooble trade, and no. So I'm not going to say it's out of the question, but what I will say is I feel that Stearns wants to keep Jonah Tong. They want to help him get better. He's only going to be 23 in like June. So this is a guy that, like I said, has a high ceiling. 1.43 ERA. That's nothing to just look at and be like, oh wow, that's just to snap at. Like 1.43 ERA, that's very impressive. But he needs to work on that pitch that separates him. He needs to work on a slider. He needs to work on a different type of pitch that can go east to west. And that's the thing about Jonathan. But I like this kid. I like what he gives you. And we'll see what happens with the confidence with him. We'll see, because we saw, obviously, he got rocked in that Texas Ranger start. But we've heard that Sean Manaea, veterans like that, were talking to him and telling him, yo, you see that guy out there? You see the guy you pitched against, Jacob deGrom? Guess what? He had one of those starts too. So sometimes a kid like that needs that. So I do like this kid. We'll see what happens. We'll see. I think this is a kid to watch in 2026, though, because he did get the call up. But my thing is, I think he's gonna start in AAA. And I feel that he needs to start in AAA because he only had 3 starts in AAA. Yes, they were really good. And the Mets were desperate for pitching. The Mets were very desperate for pitching because of the performances that you got from Sean Manaea, David Peterson, Kodai Senga. Very desperate. And that's why the kid got the call up. Yes, he was dominating, but he wasn't ready. And that's the thing. Major league, hitters, they're different. The competition is different. So we'll see what happens with Jonathan. I'm very excited about him. I think this is a kid to watch in 2026. Maybe he has let's say like 7 really good starts or 8 really good starts, and someone gets injured from the Mets rotation. Now you have a Jonathan that you can slot in and bring up. So we'll see. I think this is something that the Mets need. They need like a guy that they can depend on. Like, let's say somebody gets injured, you could bring up a Jonathan. You could bring up the guy that the next that I'm going to talk about as well. Depth is very important in pitching. We've seen that in the recent years. We've seen that as Met fans. We've seen how many injuries have we seen before the season? Many injuries. Many. And then McGill, they had to rely on McGill so damn many times. But let's get to our next guy here, man. And we got to get into here. Don't forget Christian Scott. I know a lot of people, a lot of Met fans, maybe they haven't heard the name Christian Scott or they haven't been paying attention to Christian Scott. But I'm going to tell you this. This guy was a top prospect, okay? This guy is coming back from the Tommy John surgery. So, look, I like this guy. He has a hard fastball, a split, a changeup, a slider. There's a lot to like. With this kid. And what I felt was, it was the confidence. It was that first start against Tampa. What he did there. He threw that hard fastball. He threw that gyro slider, and he was striking guys out. But he looked confident on the mound. And that's what I liked. But there was some problems with Christian Scott. And that was the breaking pitches. They weren't as elite as you would think for major league competition. He had an okay slider in that first start, but he struggled in the other starts. He still gave like quality starts, which is what made him, I think, really important to the Mets. And the Mets didn't have a lot of pitching at the time. But Christian Scott came up, and he was kind of like, I'm not going to say our Nolan McLean, but he was a guy that he came up and I was like, everybody was hype about. So I think this is a kid that to watch in 2026 for sure. And I just don't want Met fans to forget about him. 2026 is going to be very, very interesting because yes, you have Sean Manaea. Yes, you have Kodai Senga. Yes, you have all these guys. But what about Christian Scott? Don't forget Christian Scott. What did I just mention? I just mentioned that Jonah Tong. Like, what if somebody gets injured? They'll probably bring back up Jonah Tong. What if they want to bring Christian Scott up? What if he's doing good? You know, I think he's going to start in AAA for sure. But this is a kid that looked really good. He has a gyro slider. He has a hard fastball that could pitch up to 97 to 99. I don't know how he's going to come back, after the injury. But I think that this kid is going to be very important to the Mets going forward because of guys like Clay Holmes that has an opt-out after this year. You got David Peterson, who is going to be a free agent. You got Kodai Senga, who knows what happened. I mean, who knows? Maybe they trade him. Maybe they trade him after this season. It could go either way. But I do like this kid. I really like the confidence. That's what I really liked. I like the demeanor on the mound from Christian Scott when he came up in 2024. Yeah, I know it feels like a long time ago, but it was only 2 years ago. So let's not forget him. Let's not forget Christian Scott. Now, this is a guy that I want to talk about. Jonathan Santucci, second rounder. And I'm going to tell you why he was a second rounder. Because in college, in 2023, he had to have an elbow surgery and get bone chips out of his elbow. In 2024, he had a rib injury. In college, he pitched to a 3.41 ERA, with 90 strikeouts. But what I think made him a second rounder rather than a first rounder was because of these injuries. And also, he had a high walk rate as well. Now, he's gotten better with that in AA and in the minors in general because he pitched to a 9-4. He won 9 games, lost 4 games, but pitched to a 3.06 ERA. That's impressive. That's what I like. He has a fastball, a 2-plane break slider that is just nasty. It looks nasty. I think that his delivery is nasty. And that slider, it like separates him. It separates him from other pitchers. I like his fastball. I think his changeup is okay. It's not like something like amazing, but it's another pitch for him that he has. But guys, this is pitching. This pitching is very, very important. And this is a guy that I would watch in 2026 because he had an awesome year, in AA. He did get the call up. He did get the call up to AAA as well. So I think he's going to start probably in AAA. I think he's going to start in AAA. Like, we'll see what happens with the kid. No, he didn't get the call up. He didn't get the call up to AAA just yet. But I think he will to start the season. I think he will. But the fact that this is a second rounder, he was picked in number 46. That's impressive. He was supposed to be a first rounder, but he's had some injuries. But he has still had a really good minor league career. This is a guy that was drafted by David Stearns. That's something that's important. So I love the slider. I think it separates him. I really do. But this is something that pitching is very important. Pitching is very, very important. Like, anyone can go down. Anyone can be injured, like we've seen in the past. So let's say Jonathan Santucci has an awesome AAA. Like, let's say he has an awesome 5 or 6 straight starts. Maybe he could be a call-up. In 2026. It's not something that I wouldn't say is out of the question, but the fact that they have these kids like kind of waiting in the wings is that's what I like about this team. How many years have we seen the Mets pitching depth not be that good? How many times have we had to rely on a McGill, a Tyler McGill? How many damn times? A Jonathan, what is it? A Joey LaCasey. How many times have we had to rely on those guys? Many, many damn times. But if we have a Jonathan, a Christian Scott, a Jonathan Santucci, I mean, this is real pitching depth. And not just pitching depth. This is exciting pitching depth. This is guys that we don't know what Jonathan Santucci is going to be, but this is a guy that I like. I think he's going to be something. And also, he's a big part. He's one of the best lefty in the organization. Yes, there's Zach Thornton as well, but Jonathan Santucci has taken the reins more. So I think lefties obviously are very important. Yes, we have David Peterson, but he's going to be gone after this year. So Jonathan Santucci could possibly be his replacement. Who knows? Who knows? It's going to be very exciting, man. It's going to be very exciting. But let me know what you guys think. Who would you want? Would you want to see a Jonathan in 2026? Would you want to see a Christian Scott in 2026? I mean, it's a long season, so you're probably going to see most of them. How many times have pitchers had to make a spot start? You know? How many times did Stearns have to call up how many minor league pitchers he called up last year and send them back down? It's a long season, y'all. Long season. But let's get into our last guy that I want to talk about. And this is like an exciting guy, man. He's 6'4". His name is Jack Weniger. He went 12-6 with a 2.92 ERA. 147 strikeouts. I mean, also 11 strikeouts as well. And he won the Eastern League title. They won the championship. This is a guy that he has good stuff. I like his fastball. I like his splitter. I like his sinker. I like his slider. He's a guy that has a high strikeout rate, throws a lot of strikeouts, man. And that's something that is very impressive and what you want to see out of a kid. This kid is, intimidating on that mound. 6'4", he's a big kid. And he's coming at you all arms and legs, man. All arms and legs coming at you. So there's a lot to like about this kid. A lot to like. I like that sinker. I like the slider. The splitter is something that it kind of separates him from other pitchers. That splitter is really nice. He has a nice break to it. So 12-6 with a 2.92 ERA. That is very impressive. And I think this is a guy to watch in 2026. He's already in Port St. Lucie right now. Already there. Yeah, he's not going to make the majors to start 2026. He's not going to make the majors. But this is a guy that I feel is probably going to start in AAA. Another guy that's going to start in AAA. I think Jonathan Santucci, Christian Scott, Jonathan, and Jack Weniger are going to start in AAA. And this is pitching depth. This is guys that can become options. Now, Jack Weniger, he's going to have to perform. He's going to have to perform. It's not going to be easy. But this is a guy that I feel could be something special. And really think about it. When is the last time that we've had all these pitching prospects? Guys, we just traded away Brandon Sproat, who was one of our pitching prospects as well, top pitching prospects. Now we have Jack Weniger. We still have Jonathan Santucci. We have Jonah Tong. We have Christian Scott. We also have Will Watson, RJ Gordon, other guys that, maybe could be down the line. So a lot of excitement coming out of this pitching prospects, in 2026. A lot of excitement. But this is a guy at 2.92 ERA. Like, you know how impressive that is? That is very, very impressive. And credit to Jack Weniger. Credit to him. Great job. Absolute great job. So we'll see what happens with these four, man. But I just feel that pitching is something that we have lacked for many years. And finally, we got pitching prospects that we can kind of believe in. I don't think that this is just all hype. I think that these guys are going to be good. I think they're going to be really good. You got 4 guys, y'all. 4 guys to watch in 2026. Let me know out of the 4 who you think is going to make, that best, that addition to the Mets rotation in 2026. Who do you think is going to get the call up first? Who do you think is going to be that game changer? Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Randy. You just watched the Randy Talks Mets channel. I'm out of here. Let's go, Mets. Enjoy your Saturday, baby. We'll be back with another video tomorrow. Let's go.